here's a lap of the track in the IP2 cars and full production. We're coming into the center chicane. This is a left-right. As you see, you want to hit the curb but keep two wheels on the track at all times. Little left-hand chicane. We're coming down this little straight. It's going to take us into Wakefield Corner. This is a second gear. Can be done in third if you coast it through and get on the gas. I've found with this Porsche, it's pretty good either way. I like to hear the revs, so I usually keep it high in second gear. Coasting through in third on this left-hand corner, which then takes us to a right. Again, clipping the curb, maybe a little too much there. Let the car float over, and as we turn right here, this is going to take us onto Bartles Road. This is the fastest part of the course. If you've watched the Improved Production Racing on any YouTube channel, you'll see that this has a lot of overtaking possibilities. As we head down here on Bartles, there's going to be turn 8, which is coming up now. This is flat out right-hand corner, turns into Brabham Straight. You know, you are flat, hard on the floor with these cars, and then hard onto the brakes as we get into Decaturville Hairpin. This is a second gear corner, great for overtaking because a lot of cars have different braking capabilities. We're turning left and then left again after this. There's no real names for these corners, but you can see the track is very narrow. There's lots of walls everywhere. You have to be extremely careful when you're on this track. This is the widest part right here as we go into the Foster's Corner, which is the final corner of the track, to be taken in second gear. Another good place for overtaking, and we head down on the final front straight, and that is a lap of Adelaide.
All right,
let's get on to the race now. Good times coming. Here we are, start of the race. I'm near the back there. You can see I did not get a great start, but we're watching this from the outside. Camera angles are not great. Let's see what happens at the start of this race. Here we go. We have James coming up hard behind us, and we have Rick ahead of us in that little red Miata. You can see there's a wide range of cars here. We've got Miatas, Porsches, Toyota Celicas of the first generation going right by there, and Honda CRXs. This is the type of cars you'll find normally in this race, along with a little bit of rabbits and other interesting cars that have been fielded. The 914 not so much because it's not really a touring type car. It is a sports car. But as you can see at the start of this race, I am keeping in touch with everybody. A little tap there exiting the wall, and here we are going down the Bartles Road straight. And I have a good run here on Rick. Let's see what happens as we go side by side into turn 8. This is not a normal overtaking spot. We're giving each other lots of room. Oh, maybe a little touch there, but everyone makes it through okay. Coming down here, lots of green. Coming into the hairpin at Decatur Hairpin. Rick is right on the curbs. I'm trying an inside line to see if I can get anything done there. Doesn't look like it at this point. And as we carry on, we are through these first couple of lefts, and I overcook it. Around we go. Maybe we'll see that again inside the car. I don't know. We'll take a look after. But here we go. We got the car moving again. This is only lap 1. 15-minute race, as you know. And I'm a little ways back at this point. Let's see where we get to from here. And around and coming into the final corner, or Foster's Corner, as mentioned in the track run. Out here, second gear, coming down the straight. And here we are, inside the car for the start of the race. Let's see how it looks from my point of view. And yeah, I did kind of bog it at the start there, didn't I? But we didn't lose our second to last starting position. You can see that we have Rick right there in front of us, and in the mirrors here comes James looking for the inside but not quite getting it. A little more over the turtles than I would like in that first center chicane. And as we come down here, coming into Wakefield Corner, I tend to brake a little bit earlier, but I'm carrying a little more speed and close up on Rick. Saw the tail wag there a little bit, and that's okay. A little wagging of the tail doesn't hurt anybody, but it is interesting to try and hold it as well. So here we are through the right, and getting ready for the second right, taking us onto Bartles Straight. You can see that Rick tagged the wall a little bit in the back end. That's what gives me the run down Bartles. And we're closing in. Oh yes, are we ever. Had no choice but to pull out and see if we can get a little bit of top end pull here. Road is narrowing. We're on the inside. It looks like a touch, but without anyone spinning, we were all good to continue on. So here we are. We are doing well here. And through the corner, it looks like I get a good run, but I tank slap it a bit. James has not gotten by us, and here's where I did that spin. Coming in a little too much. With the 914, I found you really need to keep a little bit of gas all the time, otherwise it will go around. These cars are mid-engine. They are kind of like a top in that situation. Once it starts spinning, it just wants to go. So here we are. We have now finished the first lap. Just about. Second to last corner, come out wide here, and second gear into Foster's corner and down the pit straight. So, one lap down, and we are 8 seconds behind. This is going to be a long race.
That was a 2:10.87.
So, here we are. We've gone through Senna's chicane, named after the very famous Ayrton Senna of Brazil. Coming down into Wakefield corner because it's coming off of the Wakefield Road. And left here, want to try and keep it out and clip that inside apex so that we're not too far offline. The more speed we can carry through here, bearing in mind that the walls do hurt when you hit them. And if you go over some of those curbs a little too much, it will take the car and hurt your exit a bit because you have to slow up a little bit, settle the car down before you can get back on the gas. But we're running down here down Bartles. We're still about 7 seconds, or yeah, 7 seconds behind Agent Smart now. So it looks like James has gotten past Mike Smart. We're down Brabham Straight, named after the great Brabham Car Company, founded and run out of Australia, much like the McLaren cars were started there. And we're coming down through our lefts here, and still not really much in the way of anyone within our viewing. So this does look like it might be a bit of a snore fest, and I apologize for that. Through Foster Chicane, we have now completed 2 laps. 2 laps of this 15-minute race, with the laps being, you know, nears makes no difference, 2 minutes. 15 minutes will go by pretty quick.
That was a
and back through Senna's chicane. 1, 2, again, a little more curb than I should be taking there. And here we go, coming down Wakefield Drive into Wakefield Corner. I see this time I did it in second. It looks like we're actually catching up to Mr. Smart up there ahead of us. He might not be having a good night tonight during this race, and that might work into my favor. In fact, we can still see him, his little name flag there. But coming down onto Bartles Road, he's gone. So we're catching up a little bit in the twisties. And if I can get a better run off of these corners, I might be able to start pulling him in. My best lap time around here has been low 48s, but that is hitting everything correctly. So we've gone through turn 8. We're down on the Brabham Straight, coming into Dequetteville Hairpin. Again, second gear through here, trying to leave my acceleration until I just past that apex, so I can get on the gas and not lose the back end. We're starting to take this corner much better now. Here we go. We're coming down into the second last corner. Second to last corner now. Down here into Foster's, second gear. And what do we see over on our left? There's Agent Smart coming back on the track. Looks like he had a little bit of it off. You might want to check that out in the outside replay. I think I have that somewhere. So let us see what we can see there. So here we are. Now we'll watch this lap from the outside and see how it looks through center chicane. See, I'm maybe a little bit tighter in that one, Agent Smart. Not really seeing too much. These camera angles might not be the best for the subside. Anyways, through Wakefield Corner we go. Mike Smart is still there. You can see him in the Porsche half-colored car. Recent runs at series. Our people who make our car sets like to have some fun, and that Porsche car is pretty good. Oh, there's a little bit of a drift there coming onto the Bartels straight. But it doesn't hurt too much. You can hear Mike Smart's car, but you can't quite see it. Oh, there it is. And now we're coming in to get Bill Hairpin. Oh, sorry, going through corner 8, flat out. As much road as I dare. And now we're into the get Bill. Kent Bill Hairpin. Second gear, exiting out right to the outside as much as we can. So now we're trying to get this. That was way tight there. I'm surprised I didn't use the But there we are. We have the outside, and Agent Smart is a little bit behind us. That's looks like we pulled out a second or so on Agent Smart. He wasn't having a great time at this track, as you can see. Now we're back there. And how as we ended that lap entering 3. Into it, looks like what lap here? Probably lap 5 at this point. Still have 12, no, about 12 minutes left of this race. I'm all alone, nobody there to race me. But that just means we have to be that much more focused as we are actually driving. Because one silly mistake or simple mistake can really end the race. As you can see, we pulled out about 8 seconds on Agent Smart, so that must mean he had a spin somewhere behind us. And we're just going to continue on our merry way down through Bartle Straight, through turn 8 and on to Brabham. It really is, and I apologize for this, somewhat of a boring, lackluster race on my part. I've never been able to really get this track down, no matter how many laps I put in. There's something about it that just doesn't work for me. It has a great flow. I mean, when you get the flow down, the time is, it's a really nice track to drive. I think it's probably the walls when you think about it. Because when I'm driving, even though it's a simulation and a sim game, I treat each car like it was my own, as if I owned it. And the one thing I always think of when I'm driving a car, especially on a racetrack, is if I bend it, can I fix it? And if so, how long will it take me to fix it? So, you know, I tend to be a bit more, subtle, maybe not as aggressive as I could be when I'm racing in the sim races, because I like to keep it clean and keep it as if it was my own vehicle. That being said, Agent Smart is still running. He's picked up a second on us. We are now only 6.3 seconds, and there's a spin on my part, and that was coming through at the corner just before or just after Wakefield. And now if I look behind me, I have that Pasha car right there beside us. In the mirrors, Mike Smart is looking to get around. He is right there. Let's see what happens. We're going to watch in our mirrors at this point. He is there. There's a nice view through the back, just checking my mirrors to see how close he actually is. We're coming down Bartles Road through turn 8. Agent Smart is right in my draft, and these cars do draft very well, as you can see. This is going to take us into Decatville hairpin, giving Agent Smart lots of room. You see I'm way off my apex, so I don't want to cut him off. He's there beside us. Oh, and we have a bit of an extra leg up through there because we had the inside of the corner, so he had to give that up. But he's not giving up the fight. So, as I was thinking it was going to be an uneventful race, it's turning out to be something of a barn burner, at least for the final 2 positions. Through Foster's corner, Agent Smart is right there on our tail. He had a great exit there. I think he's going to catch us as we get in, as we go down the front straight and head into the Senna chicane. He's closing in. There he is. I'm going to drop down and forth, get on the curbs. Oh, you can feel the car shaking all over the place. Agent Smart was a little more shaky through there. I think I gained a 10th on that one. Coming into Wakefield corner, dropping it down to second. Oh, twitchy. Oh, and Agent Smart gets by on the twitchy section there. Through third gear on this left-hander. I mean, everything is a 90-degree corner here. Everything. Through this 90-degree corner, Agent Smart is starting to pull out, and it looks like he has had a great run through there. Coming down to Bartles Road straight, flat foot to the floor. I get a wee bit of a draft from the little arrows you can see on our left-hand side, and it's not much of a draft. In fact, I still have it, but I have to be right in line with him. Through turn 8, coming down, grab him straight into Decatville hairpin one more time. Hard on the brakes. Lots of lockup from Mike Smart in the back end. He might need to move his brakes a little bit more to the front. Through the left and through the other left. Look at that brake lock up through there. And twitchy, and I'm around. Into the power tools wall again. To the right-hand side as opposed to the left-hand side, which I did in lap 1. Back on the track again, and off we go. So, from 1 second back, that puts us how far back now? Let's find out as we cross the line. Through Foster's, past the Clipsill wall, down the front straight. I see no sign of Agent Smart.
That was
he
a
is
2,
long
0,
gone, and we are
1,
now
2,
11 and a half seconds back. I tell you, when the walls are there, they just do something to me. I just cannot get my head wrapped around it. But let's see what happens. We still have time left. Anything is possible. As they say, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Apologize for anyone that doesn't like that reference. It's an old saying. Come on, let's get with it. Through the left hand 90 degrees. Coming up to the right hand 90 degrees. These corners don't really have a name. I checked online, I don't see any. Down here on the Bartles Road, we gained 0.2 of a second on Agent Smart. It was 11.4 or 11.27, so 1.3 or 13/10 of a second. Not a lot, but every 10th helps, right? Through turn 8 onto Brabham Straight. Let's see what happens when we get to the end of this straight here. Coming down hard on the brakes, not one of my better laps. In fact, I've lost 0.3 down Bartles and Brabham. So Agent Smart has had a really good run now that he's gotten past me. But we are a half a minute behind the next closest car, which would be James Bowders, who looks to be having a great battle with Mr. Benoit, Mr. Brownhill, because they are swapping positions. If you take a look, it's now Brownhill, Benoit, Bowders. So all within a second, they're having a phenomenal run up there. They have these cars dialed in really well, and they're all really good drivers.
That was a 1:40.
Here we are, we're back on the front straight, and it looks like Agent Smart had a little bit of a loop-de-loop because we're now only 8 seconds behind him. So, that's interesting, isn't it? So we picked up 4, yours makes no difference, 4 seconds on that lap. Excuse the cough if you heard that. Down through Wakefield, into our 90-degree left-hand corner. A little ways off of that apex there. If we get that apex, our time will start dropping a bit. That was a good turn in on that corner. Oh, but again, got on the gas just a little bit too much. That's going to cost us probably the 4 seconds we picked up. We are down into the last 5 minutes, so I don't have much. I'm not holding out too much hope for picking up an extra position on the track. But you know, you got to keep pushing, you got to keep driving, because you never know what'll happen. And that's why we do it. We do it because we love it. We do it because it's fun, and we're enjoying the time driving in areas that we might not actually get a chance to drive in our entire lives. I don't know if I'll ever make it down to Australia, but it'd be fun if I did. Love to drive this track. So here we go. We're into the last 4 or 5 corners of this lap. We are 15.5 seconds behind Agent Smart. Anyone is of my age and gets that reference, just look up Agent 99, or Agent 86, I believe, was Agent Smart's call number as he battled.
All right, that was a 1:57.48.
So we are now 16 seconds behind Agent Smart through the center chicane. I took that one pretty well. Nice inside line there. Clipped the apex perfectly on that, coming down Wakefield Street to Wakefield Corner. Out nice just to the turtles there, and that was really well done through Wakefield Corner. Now things are starting to happen. Oh, Agent Smart was right there and then disappeared. He must have had an accident. He did. He has dropped from the race with 2 minutes left. Oh, that does not bode well. I think when we were talking, he said that he hit the wall so hard that he lost a tire, so there's no way he was actually going to make it back to the pits. Otherwise, we could have had a good run for the last lap or two. But we'll go down Bartles Road straight, heading to the turn 8 King, which takes us onto Brabham Straight. Under, it looks like 2 minutes now, so probably 2 laps left. This lap, the lap that we're on, and one more. Through the Duquetteville hairpin. Oh, a little bit of a tank slapper there. I think the next time you see me run this series, I'll probably be in the Rabbit. It's front wheel drive, of course. Add a bigger bar to get it to rotate a bit, soften it up. That seems to be a good way. I think we're heading back to the States with these cars for 2 races. Way out onto the grass there. The only place you can go on the grass and get away with it. Through Foster's Corner. We are 37.5 seconds behind James Bowders.
All right, that was a 1:52.64.
We're now 40 seconds behind. Wow, they're moving a lot faster than I am, I'll give you that. My best lap of 49.2. Ooh, they have to be doing 48s and 47s. There's just no way they're doing anything slower than that. Here we go through Wakefield Corner. I took it in third. See, you can take it in third, like I mentioned earlier in the track drive. Third gear through this right hand left. Oh, and I'll just, with the hay, there's so little time left, I'll spin it before I just give you a little bit of something to look at. And we'll get it going again. It really doesn't matter, I'm so far behind. It might almost be better to just drop out of the race, but I like to finish it. Through the right hand hairpin, 90 degrees, onto Bartles Road. Carrying as much speed as we can, maybe not as far out. A lot of other people that race this track with tend to go right out, follow the road right down the wall as the wall points out. Kind of gives you a nice line through turn 8. If I don't need to go that wide, I don't. On to Brabham Straight into Duquetteville hairpin for what appears to be the last time. Looks like the leader has completed the run. And over to the right to line up for the left, and we'll let the car come out to the left, a little bit touching the turtles. Perfect exit, perfect line through there. Took through here, perfect line on that one. Second to last corner, right in on that. That's the way to do it, right to the yellow mustard. Through the Foster's corner, and a little bit of a slow exit on that, but it's the final of the race. And here we come across the line. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week. That race is over.